Aesop Rock. When I think about artists that are in a class of their own, I don't know if anybody fits the bill more than Aesop Rock. I'll mention like top fives and things like that, but when I mention my picks for the top fives, there's a lot of variables I'm taking into account. Listenability is a big part of it. Because an MC could be extremely skilled, but the overall product could be unpleasant. His tone and, in regards to the beat and just the overall vibe that it gives off, it could come off as corny or cheesy, but his skill level is very high. So it could be a high skill level, but he's very unrefined, or she's very unrefined. So you have a lot of that in the underground. And I think when you listen to Aesop's early work, you can see that. You not in everything, but there's a certain thing that's going to kind of repel the average listener, and probably even so to this day. I think Ace is an acquired taste, but the likability has increased dramatically from the earlier works to where you can play the song as a whole, and it's like it's just got that, okay, yeah, I'm listening to music feel. Whereas before it was like kind of like listening to Company Flow, where this is avant-garde art, right? So you could see that development there. But the thing is that Ace is far too distinguished to be in any kind of list, unless it was a list of equally distinguishable artists. I mean, this list would have to be, I suppose you could put a list of Ace, Homeboy Sandman, MF Doom, Ghostface Killer. Let's see if I can get a fifth. I'm sure there's somebody else, but you get the point that I'm saying, where it's like styles that cannot be. Oh, Busta Rhymes, I suppose. It goes, because maybe not Busta, but you guys get where I'm going with it. But it's a list of styles that are so distinguishable that if anybody were to sound remotely close to any of those artists, it would be like you biting immediately. We would recognize like you're stealing. It would be beyond influence. So for that reason, I never quite MJ, Busta, like Ace, he doesn't fit in that category. But nonetheless, I believe that that's one of my favorite artists, and he is in a category of his own. I was introduced to Aesop by Despot. When I first got hold of it, I wasn't capable of like deciphering, which is cool for me. That kind of thing will turn somebody away. For me, it was like, why can't I quite grasp this? And I wanted to listen more and get into it more. And listening to Ace actually it advanced me as a listener, because you learn to decipher, you start to become able to decipher in real time. And now you can process more in listening to an artist. Your brain is, it's multitasking at a high. If anyone who listens to Ace knows that you have to do this. Your brain has to operate at a high capacity to be able to take all of this in. And Ace today is a much more we got a much more digestible version of Ace. If you go back to the early works, it was like this was a lot. This was a lot to take in at once. You know what I'm saying? The speed of it, the coding of it, it was just a lot. But Ace has, man, oh man. I also think that when you look at the career of Aesop Rock, and this is not really something I focus on this channel. It's not about that. It's about the art. But I think this is important when talking about Ace, because it speaks to the fact that when you do specifically what it is you do, when you are uncompromised, you do not compromise, it will generate what it's supposed to generate. So, you could look at somebody and go, oh, this is not gonna sell. This is not for a large audience. Let me tell you something. Aesop Rock will sell out Irving Plaza and venues that size. Now that's amazing because when you listen to that sound, you know, there are artists out there that are more known than Ace, right? They're more famous, I suppose. But do they really have that cult following and that fan base to sell out these kind of venues across the country? You know, and possibly, you know, I don't know what the overseas thing is, but you get what I'm saying. So it's those that, when you stick to what it is you do, those that love it will really love it. They're going to appreciate it more than they would appreciate. They're gonna love it that much more, you know, because those that really like it. That's the difference, and my favorite artists, right? My all-time favorite artists tend to be those kind of artists. I mean, you look at the bands I'm into, you know, Tool, Bjork, not a band, but you know, just the Mars Volta, the Pesh Mode, all of these, you know, Aesop Rock, Homeboy Sandman, 9 Inch Nails, all of these groups are very, very distinguishable. They all stand out. So I want to also, so you have that aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? Where you're getting, there's that thing, but you know, when you look at some of the things that Ace, the lines. I mean, Ace had, what did he say? He said, driving isn't simply when the tires spin. Try again. Departures and arrivals are an only time in mileage. That's crazy. Departures, driving isn't simply when the, what did he say? He said something before. Fuck it. What did he say? Not even a hideaway to hide up in. A side effect of sliding environment to environment. Driving isn't simply when the tires spin. Try again. Departures and arrivals are an only time in mileage. Try again. Like, yo, come on. Like, this is... Ace is... In my... Like, you can't say the best. Because when you are so out on your own, when you are so different from everything else, how are you even in a category to be the best of anything? But for me, this is like my favorite shit. It just, you know, it doesn't get much better for me. I like, you know, I'll talk about M, and you guys know how I feel about M. I feel that, you know, Eminem is a true master. Eminem is a true master of the art form. You know, I don't know who would dispute that. You know, show me one element of rapping that Eminem can't fucking obliterate. You know, let's be honest here. People often confuse whether they like the music or not for the level that the artist is on. Yeah, the two separate things. An artist can be amazing, but you just don't like their music. It doesn't mean they're not incredible at their craft. They're two separate things. But back to Ace, I don't think it gets much better than Aesop Rock for me. I don't know if there's really much more to say about that. I guess I can talk about some experiences. I've had the pleasure of sharing the stage with Ace one time. I forget what the venue was. It was some spot in Williamsburg. Towards the end of the set, he called me, Low Deck. I think it was me and Low Deck on stage. Me, Low Deck, Ace. I feel like it might have been somebody else. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a freestyle thing. We were all up there freestyling. I did what I could, and I didn't feel it was good enough. I'm like, yo, because that, for me, that was like, even though I have accessibility to Ace, I could email Ace, I could call Sant, but it don't matter. It's like, what you spend a good deal of time with somebody's art, and it's just like, it's a different thing. You can, it doesn't, the person and the artist, it's just two separate things. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm a huge fan of Aesop Rock. It doesn't matter, you know what I'm saying, if I could be in the same room with him. You know, it's just like, it is what it is. I've spent that much time with the art. And, you know, I was around, because on the first album, I have a beat from Blockhead. And at one point, we were in Blockhead's apartment on Union Square. Ace was there, you know what I'm saying? And me and Block were going through beats, whatever beats I was gonna use. So we were in the same circle. I've you know what I'm saying? But you know, so just being in New York and me being around and doing certain things, you know what I'm saying? I seemed to come up. I was there. I was there for a lot of it. But ultimately, yeah, I just wanted to do a video touching on Aesop Rock, because I will do videos just touching on different artists that I think are really special in hip hop, and keep it at that. And, you know, and I think eventually it would be nice to at some point be able to get like interviews from certain people. I think that'd be cool. I see myself going in that direction. The website should be back up. Give it a little time. What else is there? I spoke to Phobia. We're gonna get verses from Phobia. These verses that I told you about, that some of the greatest times of my life were being there to experience these verses. We're gonna get them. That's coming. All right. So I'll see you guys in the next one.